Hey y'all, Editor Flowers here. I just wanted to make a correction to my last video. We shot this last summer, and so all the details are a little bit fuzzy when it comes to remembering all this kind of stuff. The interior of the juke joint scene, I mentioned 5Ks being the main bounce. It were actually T12s, which are 12K, 12,000 watt lights that we used as the main workhorses up top. And then we added 5Ks and 2Ks to augment where the bounce wasn't doing. Somebody commented and asked me to chat about the scene where they connect the power to the juke joint and sparks fly. Funny story about that. We actually shot that on the stage in the last few weeks of shooting, if I'm not mistaken. The special effects department rigged up a wire to shoot sparks, but I'm pretty sure it was a visual gag, meaning the special effects operator or technician had to visually see the actor put the wires together and then press the button when that happened to make the sparks fly. You can imagine we had to do that a few times to make sure the timing was all right and done correctly. I do know that the kid version of Flowers would have loved seeing how these movies were made by the people that are making the movies, in addition to all the fun behind the scenes stuff that the production company puts off. We really don't have a good way of ending this series, this breakdown of Sinners and what it was like working on a movie like this. I want to thank everybody for watching and taking the time. If you have any other thoughts or questions, leave a comment below. So I hope you enjoy the final part of the Sinners breakdown. So this is the Technocrane. A crane camera platform. The camera goes right here. It's got like 4 wheels. It's basically a utility vehicle, and it extends out, I want to say 30 feet, and you put weights on it, and as it extends out, the weights kind of counterbalance. There's a whole, engineering behind it. That's our gaffer, Bardo. What's up, Bardo? This was our data tech, Ian. Shout out, Ian. He created all those cool diagrams that you see with all of distro stations. Shout out to his organizational skills on this show. They are looking at this, trying to figure out why half of the lights aren't turning on for some. These are the things that we have to figure out on the day on the set. It rained all night, now half the lights don't work. So what do? I'm pretty sure this is all bugs.
It's so beautiful.
Here's a nice little photo of our big moon. 6x6, so 36 Vortex 8s in a 40 by 40? That looks like a 40 by 40. This is a safety meeting. This is when the assistant director department, the AD department, basically gives us a rundown of what we're doing for the day, what our goals are, what we're trying to achieve, what our schedule's looking like, time frames on when actors are going to show up, how much time the crew has to set up and get ready and do all their stuff, where we need to set up, where we're looking in case we need to move equipment. Kind of just like it's a daily pep talk that we get. Sometimes they're cheesy, sometimes they're motivational, sometimes you just want to get on with your day, but they are beneficial and they are try and get everybody on the same page, because communication will ruin a movie. They say writing can ruin a movie, communication during production or during any part, lack of communication during any part of the filmmaking part can ruin a movie in like an instance, or somebody can get hurt. We do a lot of dangerous things on movie sets as well. We're working with a lot of power. We're working with a lot of firepower sometimes. Got guns and stuff on set. People have died on set for not having the right permits. People have died for something as silly as not having the right permits. Rest in peace, Sarah. Arrogance in communication, a lack of communication. What can ruin movies more than a bad script, let me tell you. But if you go see the movie again, see if you can see the Duradeck down there. I mean, you rarely see the cars in the movie, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. This is a special effects fan. These were going consistently throughout the nighttime in the bayou to make fog effects to bring up atmosphere. See in the background, our lighting platform back here with our light on top and lights on bottom. This would backlight this fog right here and give it some ambiance. I don't know how to describe what this is. That's a lot of smoke. That's a lot of fog, and those are lighting platforms, but it looks like a storm, right? Like it's weird. In front of a bunch of lights, trying to look all serious and cool. And then I decided I should probably smile. It's probably good to smile. They did a lot of practical effects. Shout out to doing practical effects on movies. Every time that you saw Remy jump off the ground and float into the air, that was a practical effect. We had these pettibones out here with these rigs on top of them that had wire setups. This is the stunts department. This is why There's a whole department dedicated to stunts and safety and making sure that the actors don't have to do all this crazy shit. Or if they do, then they do it safely. There's Jordan. Jordan's get up, man. Whoo, let me tell you. This man, he got eaten up. Oh, I feel so bad for him. But he found a way. He wrapped every place that a bug could get in and bite you. He said, nope. You can see the door, the little blue screen in the background. You can see our lighting rig up here. This is our lightning rig for a backlight lightning rig. There's this little camera right here. Don't forget about that thing. There's the fire scene. This is the special effects department making sure that everything is safe before they start putting in all of the background actors and camera and all that kind of stuff. He's in there too because, you know, if he's going to put his actors through it, I guess he's going to do it too. Very controlled fire, as you can imagine. We got to do multiple takes. So they like built in all these gas lines that go to these areas so they can control the amount of fire that's going up. I mean, I feel like film schools are going to be studying it for a while, not only for the camera movement and everything, but for the music. This was 100 feet of track, I think, at least 100 feet of track. You can see our balloon. Our balloon's in the bubble back here. It's just chilling until the sun goes down. You can see the big old second moon going on up top. Now we are getting close to shooting this thing. We probably waited 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to light and block one shot that is 15 seconds in the movie. Crazy amounts of months in coordination. That the techno crane that is sticking its brontosaurus neck into the fire has to roll on. This is the dolly track. It has to be level. And in order for it to be level, you obviously need a lot of wood, man, and cribbing and 2x4s. And I mean, this alone probably took them an hour, maybe 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to level just this 100 feet of track. And then you got to put the crane on, roll it up and down, make sure there's no bumps, make sure it's level. And you got to balance it, do it all again, all while everybody's rehearsing in the background and special effects is trying not to burn themselves. And we're setting up all these giant lights up here with these cables coming down. It's a wild ride. I've seen this movie twice, and I was there when we were making it, and I had no idea. That's another crazy thing about making movies. Like, while you're shooting it, like, I'm an electrician. I'm not privy to the script or anything like that when we're shooting it. There's a fun game we play where it's like try and figure out the plot as we shoot it. This scene was just like so mind-boggling. I was so confused. There's so many random elements. Like, what is going on? Eventually it clicked. Don't get me wrong, on the Dublin part, they killed it. Like, they killed the whole river dance vibe as well. Like, I thought the juxtaposition between the river dancing and what was going on inside of the juke joint was dope. There's singular vampires in this, but I never thought that vampires really had a singular mind. Is this the first time that we've seen that they have like a singular mind inside of vampire lore? I'm not an expert, although I've worked on 2, maybe 3 vampire shows and or movies, but I just plug shit in, bro. Gaffer right here being like, I want this to point this way and this to point this way. Why isn't it doing that? That's our union president. He was the armorer on set. In order to have guns on set, you're required, or you should. I don't know if you're required, actually. Now that I think about it, you should have an armorer on set whose sole job it is to handle the firearms, and they should be the only person that gives them to the assistant director, who then hands it off to the actor. It's the assistant director's job to confirm as the last point of safety for the actors, but the armorer, it's their sole job to make sure that when it's handed off that it is a safe weapon and a clear weapon, and they also have to make sure that the whole crew is also safe with it. On Interview with a Vampire, and there's a scene in it with a gun, and they wanted the gun to flash. My job was to build an LED that could fit into the barrel of a revolver and put a button on the trigger, so when the actor pulled the trigger, the light would go off on the gun. It's a super easy build. We found some super thin wire, and we found an LED that was the right color that we could use, and I put a resistor on it, and put it onto a button and just basically like sticky tacked the button onto the trigger of the gun. Not only did the armorer have to pass off on it, the props department passed off on it, the assistant director passed off on it, and then I was sitting there with the actor when we were about to shoot, and I look him in the eye and I go, "Are you comfortable with the gun? Can I show you how to use it with the additional equipment that we've put onto it," to confirm that he was comfortable working with the gun, because there was the whole Alec Baldwin thing that had just happened, as well as just unwarranted incidents that should not be happening on film sets, if you ask me. We're making art, not war, although sometimes our art starts war. This was during the piss scene, I think. The I plead the fifth on the prosthetic scene. That's me walking away from set at like 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Tired as... Those are all bugs.
You know what?
You can hear it. There's the big old clapper as well. You got to realize, like, for the big old wide shots, in order to sync the sound to film, you need a clapper board, and that syncs, you know, you can have a visual spike where the sound is how clapper boards work. Hey. And in order to do that for the big wide scenes where you can't get a boom operator right up next to them and run them out, is you get a big old clapper board like that. How are you going to get the sound? You can see how big the people are in this, you know, so even that clapper is just like this big in the frame. That big ass clapper is only this big in the frame. And then this was the props department where they stored all of the stakes. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe.